We're learning about a different culture this week through food, of course. If you've ever wanted to make your own sushi rolls, you'll want to pay close attention. Plus, carving larger-than-life sculptures right here in Whistler. And we're learning about this unique ski town and its historic roots. It's all local, and it's all on this episode of Go Sea to Sky. Welcome to Go Sea to Sky, only on Shaw TV. I'm your host, Heather Butts, enjoying Florence Peterson Park, where a very exciting event is taking place this month, and we'll have all the details for you later in the show. But first, it's time to talk about animals. Bears are very common in this area. The mountains are home to several different kinds, but not polar bears, though you may have seen a few around Whistler this winter. And on this episode of Go Sea to Sky, we're going to introduce you to the artists who make them. Though these are not your average stone sculptures, these bears are larger than life.
Basically, we started in 2011, start of summer. It's been in the making for 15 months now, still going.
They call her Amazing Grace. Wandering far from her natural habitat, this is not the type of wildlife you'll find in Whistler, but it is where she was created.
It's been a long journey and still going, and I'm very happy with the outcome of it. And yeah, I think every piece you learn something new, have new ideas. But definitely, yeah, very proud that I've been able to sculpt something like this.
He had only been working with Fathom Stone in Whistler a few months when Ollie Newcomb began working on a piece bigger than he had ever imagined. More than 15 months in the making, his 5,000-pound sculpture is about to be shipped to a new home in Toronto, but not before the lead artist adds a few finishing touches.
I never stress about how it's going to look, how it's going to go. I just kind of have an idea in my head when I make it and just go with the flow from there, and it kind of I see things as I do it, change ideas hundreds of times.
Amazing Grace is the first of 100 bears in the Fathom Stone larger-than-life polar bear collection. The life-size carvings will all be made using Alaskan Tokene marble.
It was quarried 100 years ago in Alaska. When they closed the quarry about 90 years ago, 80 years ago, they left 100 flawless, perfect blocks on the island and never came back to get them. A friend of mine bought the island and is shipping me the blocks to make polar bears out of.
Lead artist Patrick Sampson already has the second carving well underway. A mother with cubs playing on her back, they call this one Mother's Gems. Several months in the making, assisting artist Andrew Gable has joined this project to help with the finishing touches.
It really pushes you to be patient because you might see something that you'd like to do, but you won't realize it for, 1 or 2 days, weeks, even a month until it's done.
Using a hand file on the soft stone, Gable adds small features to the bear's face, constantly referring to his reference material to be sure these larger-than-life sculptures have real characteristics.
Usually when I start a piece, I'll do a lot of research, so I'll watch documentaries, and as I'm working on it, I'll have anywhere from 20 to 50 or 60 photo references that I'm always using, cross-referencing, to get the information correct, get the anatomy right.
But before getting to the big bears, artists start small. Many have several exclusive animal carvings on display at the Fathom Stone Gallery in Whistler Village, each made with their own inspiration. And it's these smaller carvings that help these young artists gain experience to create these unique, larger-than-life sculptures, a uniqueness that is made in Whistler. Those polar bear carvings really are spectacular. You should have a look for yourself. You can view them at Fathom Stone Gallery, which is located in the Hilton in Whistler Village. They also offer carving classes, and you can find out more information online at fathomstone.com. Now, when I think of polar bears, I think of snow, something that's long gone here in the mountains. Yes, summer has arrived, but that means it's time to start indulging in some cool, icy treats. And our Jen Moranitz has found the perfect place for you the next time you're in Vancouver.
There's mixing, measuring, melting.
We try to make everything that we can in-house.
Then pouring, pinting, and prepping before it becomes this flavorful artisan ice cream.
People can't seem to get enough.
It's been 2 years since Ben Ernst and his business partner Erica started Ernest Ice Cream. The catchphrase, seriously good.
And it is seriously good?
It is seriously good.
And the customers seem to think so too. Just a few months ago, they were making ice cream a couple times each week. Now they're at it every day.
We knew that we wanted to start a business that was going to make a difference, was going to sort of be a model for getting people to think about food and food politics in a little bit different way.
It's not just the ice cream that drives people to their scoop shop on Fraser Street, it's also their zero waste initiatives.
Everything that we can recycle is being recycled. We compost almost everything. All of our to-go containers are compostable.
They also package their ice cream in reusable glass jars. They use metal tasting spoons instead of plastic, and their energy bill helps fund renewable energy projects.
We can say that our shop here and all of our ice cream that we manufacture is made with 100% renewable electricity.
How's it going?
The mastermind behind Ernest Ice Cream's production is Laurel Wipkema.
I'm in charge of flavor development.
She works alongside Ben and Erica, testing new flavors and tweaking recipes.
Right now I'd say our most popular flavors, there's 3. Whiskey hazelnut, salted caramel, and London fog are our most popular.
Whiskey hazelnut's one of Laurel's fave, so that's what we're whipping up today. Their flavors reflect the season because most of their ingredients are sourced locally.
So all the dairy comes from BC. A lot of the fruit ingredients and nuts come from the Fraser Valley.
We're looking forward to spring, so the flavors we're thinking most about are lavender and cardamom, and then we're looking forward to new flavors.
Including vegan flavors made with a coconut milk base.
My goal is to make the ice cream, the vegan ice cream, as good as it can possibly be. I want it to taste more and more like traditional ice cream.
Ernest Ice Cream envisions opening more scoop shops around the city.
Well, we want to be Vancouver's ice cream.
They also plan on expanding their wholesale distribution to independent grocery stores across the Lower Mainland, all while focusing on being sustainable and local. At Ernest Ice Cream Scoop Shop on Fraser Street, I'm Jen Moranitz for Go Vancouver.
That looks delicious, and Jen tells me that her favorite Ernest ice cream flavor is the milk chocolate. Now they're open Thursday to Sunday, but be prepared because it does get busy, so go early. And if you want more information, is online at ernesticecream.com. Now, if you'd like to see this story again, or perhaps one of our full shows, everything is available for you online in HD. Just visit youtube.com/Whistler Shaw. Go See the Sky, we're your local voice. Coming up,
first we're gonna put the seaweed on top of bamboo rolling mat.
we uncover the secret to making sushi as we prepare for the Whistler Multicultural Festival.
The following are proud supporters of community programming on Shaw TV.
Hairstyling and color services for Heather Butts are provided by The Loft Salon. TheLoftSalon.com.
1 in 3 Canadians know someone with Alzheimer's disease or another dementia. I'm one of those Canadians. September is World Alzheimer's Month, and the Alzheimer's Society of BC wants you to get involved. Use your creative ideas, your outstanding talents, and your sizzling passions. We make it easy to create a unique fundraising event or join in someone else's. Do anything for Alzheimer's and help support people with dementia, their caregivers, and research for a cure. Let's get started at anythingforalzheimers.ca today.
Welcome back to Go See the Sky, only on Shaw TV. I'm your host, Heather Butts, enjoying the beauty that is Florence Peterson Park right next to the Whistler Museum, which we'll be exploring later on in the show. First, it's time for our new series on the show. Each week, we'll be exploring a new destination right across our country. And we're kicking the series off with a spot just down Highway 99. We're heading to Capilano Suspension Bridge, one of the busiest tourist destinations in Vancouver. We'll be following the footsteps across the bridge to see what new adventures await and who's brave enough to look down.
You gotta earn your bridge legs.
Bridge legs indeed, I sure do, as many have done before me.
Is this the original bridge from 125 years ago?
No, it's gone through a few improvements since then. The original bridge, which was built in 1889, was built out of hemp rope and cedar plank.
Capilano Suspension Bridge kept the cedar planks and went with something a little sturdier in the cable department. Pre-stress multi-stranded steel, although simply saying sturdy works too.
Feeling sturdy?
How you feeling?
Feeling sturdy? Yeah.
Feeling good.
Sturdy inspires the confidence you want, considering the statuesque stats.
It's 450 feet across the canyon and 230 feet high. So if we were to stick the Statue of Liberty in the canyon there, she would fit in there. You'd be right up to eye with her.
Capilano Suspension Bridge and Park is one of Vancouver's top tourist attractions, seeing approximately 800,000 visitors annually. It's also top when it comes to the canyon and canopy adventures.
The park's evolved and grown in the 125 years since it's been here. Now we have Treetops Adventure, which is on the other side of the bridge once you cross in.
I feel like an Ewok every time.
Star Wars fans unite.
Yes.
Yeah, what's really cool about Treetops this year is just in March we raised it another 10 feet into the canopy. So now you're up to 110 feet in the trees.
Great view to watch for stormtroopers.
Absolutely. Keep your eyes on the squirrels.
Lots to see on the Rainforest Nature Tours, lots to learn about the First Nations Capilano, and lots of opportunities to face your fear of heights.
Cliff walk. Should I be nervous?
Only if you're scared about being suspended above 300 feet of canyon.
I should be a little nervous. I'm not sure what's more nerve-wracking, the rush of the river below us or seeing just these suspension points.
That's right, but fear not. There's only 9 cables holding up this view right now, but it can hold up to the equivalent of a school bus right now.
Okay.
So you're in safe hands, well, in safe cables anyways with these.
An engineering feat. Only 16 cables in total along the entire cliff walk, causing minimal impact on the cliff face while providing maximum views of the canyon.
The highest point is just down this way, and it's getting you actually 300 feet above the canyon, which is higher than the suspension bridge itself over there.
You just have to unclench my hands.
Yeah,
first
and just don't look down.
For Shaw TV's Big Summer in North Vancouver, BC, I'm Johanna Ward.
Well, that park is stunning, and new this year they have introduced the BC Residence Pass, annual access to the park for the price of 1 day's admission. Now, if you're looking for something to do but want to stay closer to home, here's a suggestion for you: the Whistler Multicultural Festival. It's happening right here in Florence Peterson Park on June 13th. 4 to 8 p.m. There you'll get to explore the many cultures which are celebrated right here in our unique mountain town. From food to culture, games, activities, and music, there will be something for everyone, and the event is free. So to prepare myself for the festival, I decided to try my hand at making some tasty food from a different culture. We're switching things up on Go See the Sky this week. We're hanging out with Aki Mikami, and you're with the Whistler Multicultural Network.
Yes.
And you're getting excited because the Multicultural Festival is coming up.
Yes.
June 13th.
On Friday.
On the Friday, June 13th, Florence Peterson Park from 4 to 8 p.m.
Yes.
And what do you like about the festival?
I would like to do the calligraphy to show everybody for how to make the calligraphy.
calligraphy.
Yes.
Perfect. It's going to be beautiful.
Yes.
And the festival is all about celebrating the different cultures that are represented in Whistler.
Yes.
One of which is Japanese, and you're going to teach us how to make some Japanese rolls today.
Yes.
Okay, let's get started. What do we do first?
So first we're gonna put on the seaweed on top of bamboo rolling mat.
Seaweed on top of the rolling mat, okay?
And put a little bit water on the wet hands.
Wet your hands so the rice doesn't stick to it?
Yes.
Great. And all of this stuff you can purchase in stores?
Yeah, in the local store.
Local stores?
Yes.
Perfect.
Put on the middle.
How much rice? Just a handful?
Yes. If too sticky, a little bit more water.
Oh, I see.
And put on the rice seaweed. And corner is important.
Right to the corners?
Yes.
Everybody always just puts it in the middle?
Yes.
So you want to make it go right to the corners so that way your sushi gets filled out completely?
Yes.
Perfect. Now food, games, there's going to be lots of stuff at the festival.
Yes. We will do the craft, art, dance, song, and food.
Food. I'll come for the food.
Yeah, it's free for local to enjoy the different culture.
Perfect. A free event. You can enjoy all the different cultures that happen in Whistler.
Yes.
Or that are celebrated in Whistler.
Yes.
Okay, so we've got it right to the corners. Pat it down really hard, really firm.
Don't need to push because we're gonna roll it.
Oh, okay.
That time we're gonna push. So.
All right.
And inside out.
Oh, inside out. So we flip it upside down. Yeah. Okay.
And put that stuff to the edge.
So we're using, this is salmon?
Sockeye salmon.
Sockeye salmon.
And this one get from IGA as well.
IGA?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Here we go.
And put some avocado.
Avocado.
Do you like the avocado?
I love avocado. Sure. Yeah, it's perfect. And the beautiful colors, green and orange.
Yes.
All right, so we just add our avocado.
Yes.
Okay.
And then put the front.
Okay, so we grab the front.
Yes. And rolling everything together and squeeze a little bit.
Okay.
And grab the edge.
Grab the edge.
And roll it.
Oh, I see. And keep rolling.
Yeah.
So we just keep rolling our mat. Our mat obviously has saran wrap.
Edge going down.
Okay. Push down.
3 fingers.
3 fingers.
1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3. Okay.
And open it.
Open it up. Oh my goodness!
Yeah.
Wow! I'm impressed.
Yeah.
So wet our hands and then we just cut it, right?
Put a little bit sesame on top.
Sesame, of course we need to.
Yep.
Have it looking fancy?
Fancy, yes.
Okay, so just a little sesame on top. And the rice, did we use special rice?
We're using Japanese rice.
Japanese rice?
Japanese sushi rice, yes.
So I'll give this to you. I'm gonna watch you cut yours first.
Okay.
Japanese sushi rice.
Always a little bit wet, makes wet.
Wet the knife as well?
Yes.
Okay. And make sure it's a sharp knife?
Of course.
Of course.
Yes.
Beautiful sharp knife. This was so easy and quick.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's gonna be lots of food at the festival.
Yes.
Indian, Australian, Mexican food. You're going to be doing calligraphy.
Calligraphy, yes.
So we get to celebrate all the different nations, all the different cultures. So games, food, culture, music, art, all different things. Why not come? And it's free.
Yes.
Okay. June 13th.
On Friday.
On Friday.
Yeah.
Thanks for teaching me how to make these.
You're welcome.
Yes, I'm sure you could probably tell by the look on my face. I was very surprised at how well my rolls turned out. Be sure to try it at home because Aki's tips really make a difference. And don't forget, the Whistler Multicultural Festival happens right here in Florence Peterson Park beside the library and the museum on Friday, June 13th. Well, thank you so much for joining us on this episode of Go Sea to Sky. We hope you're enjoying it. If you have an event you'd like us to promote or perhaps an artistic story you'd like us to share, visit us online at facebook.com/Go Sea to Sky. Later in the show,
so this is some of the furniture that you would have found in Rainbow Lodge.
There's more to Whistler than just skiing. Here you can discover its treasured past.
Whether you're pursuing a television career or looking for a new leisure activity, we invite you to join the Shaw TV Volunteer Program. You can gain valuable hands-on experience and acquire skills ranging from camera to floor directing. We're looking for high school or college students or adults who are eager to learn. Shaw TV is currently accepting volunteer applications. Contact us today.
We're there to bring it home. Shaw TV, your local voice.
Welcome back to Go See the Sky, only on Shaw TV. I'm your host, Heather Butts, in beautiful Florence Peterson Park, right next to the Whistler Museum, which we'll be exploring with you in just a few minutes. Well, summer has arrived and university students are already out of class, but we're going to introduce you to two Quest University students who didn't exactly spend that much time in the library. Instead, their final project had them outside working on something that was a little more hands-on. They created a unique space where they could perhaps spend their summer.
Just walking up here, it feels like you're drawn to it. It's cozy.
Nestled in the wooded area of the Garibaldi Highlands, it's no mansion, but can it be considered a home?
My dad showed me how to build a house with this kind of glorified shed in our backyard. And so that kind of hooked me a little bit, and I've always been into making things with my hands. Whether it was art or music, kind of always been really creative.
This is no ordinary project. This building has become a classroom for Aaron Feicht, a third-year student at Quest University. In their final years, students are required to ask a question and create a final report on their conclusion. Feicht opted out of the library, choosing a unique approach to support his findings.
My question is, what is a home? And I thought that the perfect vehicle for that would be to actually construct one.
In search of finding the answer, he found more questions, like what is it to build a modern home today, what is the process and policy involved, and finally, what is a home in regards to our interaction with the space we dwell in.
You want to construct a question that's broad enough and has a bunch of different facets to kind of allow you to explore all these different areas and whatever that is. And so it's a question I could explore for the rest of my life, really.
Feicht isn't alone. He has a neighbor. Fellow classmate Martin Schuster is taking a similar approach, but his question is quite different.
How does the natural environment affect architecture? And I decided to build a little house because I wanted to be able to really feel how the environment affects myself and my house.
Schuster's tiny home resembles a true post and beam structure and is made with mostly recycled materials, putting his student budget towards essentials like water and heating.
I had my design in like a 3D model and I knew what I wanted where, but as I was building it I realized that no, I don't want my table here. This doesn't make sense when you're actually standing in here. It kept changing and shifting as I was building it.
His exterior siding is reclaimed wood he milled himself, giving it that backcountry mountain-style feel.
I have really interesting knee brace system, which is essentially to keep the house from being able to shake. I adopted this style I found in Switzerland just when I was home this summer before I was building this.
Like any school project, there are lessons to be learned, and sometimes you figure them out the hard way.
Oh, it's been fun, it's been great. I've had a couple issues with I have propane heating inside, and on the cold days this winter I had my regulator freeze pretty often, and then I didn't have any heat for the coldest days of this winter, and that was pretty painful, but it was fun in a way.
I had a little bit of a hiccup because I had a building inspector come, and so that was a bit of a lull in the building process.
Those lessons are all part of this process. The students will report their findings next year. However, they both agree their research will never truly be over. That is the beauty of their questions. Well, the boys won't actually be spending their summer in their tiny houses. Instead, they'll be getting summer jobs to help pay for their supplies. But if you're like them and enjoy learning, our next story is for you. How much do you actually know about Whistler? There's more to this unique village than just a ski resort. It has a very interesting and incredible past. And at the Whistler Museum, you can discover it all in one location. Sports culture, pioneer days, and wildlife. There's more to this village than just a ski resort. The town's historical roots run deep, and there's one place where you can uncover its treasured past.
Hey Heather.
Hi Trish.
Welcome to the Whistler Museum.
Thanks for having me. I hear you guys have a great new exhibit.
Yeah, it's the evolution of skiing and snowboarding. Let's go check it out.
Okay.
The most prominent activity in this resort town, it has recently received a new expanded exhibit.
So this is one of my favorite displays in the new exhibit.
Yeah, looking at the equipment, it really shows the evolution of skiing and snowboarding.
Your eyes are immediately drawn to the oldest skis in the display, those of pioneer Myrtle Phillips, who in 1913 carved the way for future tourists.
It's unbelievable to see just how old those skis are.
I know, and they are so heavy, let me tell you. Yeah, it's incredible to think about riding down the mountain in those.
The display also includes a monoski, one of the first snowboards, and a modern-day prior splitboard.
And you have another exciting piece to this exhibit?
Yes, it's Whistler's first gondola, and it's just over here.
Okay.
Come on in, let's have a seat.
This is awesome.
And so Whistler's gondola was actually the first gondola in BC, and it was in service from 1965 to 1992, and it ran the same as the Creekside gondola runs today.
Navigating through the museum, it's a skier's paradise to reflect on the memorabilia that goes way back, those of the everyday members and famous Canadian ski racers. But the history of Whistler spans much farther than its athletic pastime, and so does the museum.
So this is some of the furniture that you would have found in Rainbow Lodge, which was built by Myrtle and Alex Phillip.
The husband and wife pair was among the first to discover the potential of Whistler, building the area's first destination lodge. This is where it all started. Important pieces that have influenced Whistler as we know it today. History that should be shared amongst tourists and locals.
I would encourage a local to come here because a lot of locals don't actually know the history of Whistler, and once they find out, it's so fascinating, it's so interesting, and can really heighten their experience living here.
The self-guided museum allows wanderers to stroll through the historic passageways at your own pace, discover what Whistler is truly made of in the geology section, and explore the many animals that call this place home. That includes the hoary marmot, whose whistle this town is named after. The paraphernalia is endless, every item extraordinary and informative in its own way.
So we have our Olympic section, and the Olympics, of course, is a very significant part of Whistler's history, from our first bid for the 1968 Games to finally getting the 2010 Games.
One of the bigger sections at the museum, the Olympic area, showcases uniforms worn by our Canadian athletes and equipment used during the Games. As with many areas, it too is interactive, so grab hold of the torch and be part of history. Whether you've lived in Whistler your entire life or you're new to the area, I would encourage you to check out the Whistler Museum. There's many secrets and hidden treasures about this village that will help you appreciate the Whistler that is today. Well, that's it for this episode of Go Sea to Sky. I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching.
The Canadian Radio, Television and Telecommunications Commission, the CRTC, is the public authority that regulates and supervises the broadcasting system in Canada. The CRTC will hold a public hearing beginning on September 8, 2014 in the National Capital Region on the future of television. Join the conversation today. Tell the CRTC how we can make sure your TV system meets your current and future needs. Submit your comments by June 25, 2014. Find out how on the CRTC website at crtc.gc.ca/talktv or contact the CRTC toll-free 1-877-249-CRTC or TTY 1-877-909-CRTC. It's important to make your voice heard on the future of television in Canada.